Now, in the last session, as we have introduced to all of you, like 4 amazing Toastmaster members, the last session, I will invite all the speakers who have been given a speech on the stage. So, Ian, Amanda, Howard, and Davis, could you please come onto the stage and then take a seat? I will engage you in a panel discussion so that we can shed more different light on Toastmasters and also, more importantly, your life experience. Now, you all see that I am having a list of questions in my hand, and of course, I'm not going to stick to those questions, okay? I want this discussion to be open as we try to stay open today. So the list of questions are actually just a backup. I mean, I am much prefer to open the floor to all of you if you're interested in any aspect of our speakers today, because they've already told a lot about their own personal life to you, right? So if there's anything that you're interested in knowing more, feel free to ask. And if you want to direct a question to any specific panelist, please do so. And anyone have any question? Yes, I thought so, okay? So allow me the privilege of a moderator to ask the first question, okay? So our dear panelists, first question for you. Name one thing, or one person, or one experience, that made you who you are today. Let me repeat that. It's sort of like a table talk session for all of them. Okay, so name one thing, or one person, or one experience that made you who you are today. So, okay, whoever got the microphone could speak first. So, Ian, please.
Oh my God, I got my own medicine, right? All right, hello everyone. It's really nice to meet you all. I would always give credit to my parents. My parents lived in scarcity. They didn't have a lot of things in their life. And what they did was work really hard to give what they didn't have. So they worked hard to send us to good school and be able to experience things that they didn't do. So with all the things that I have now, I'm really always grateful of them. And with that, I'm always giving back what they deserve. So I'm also taking good care of them. Thank you.
It's my turn.
Yes.
Okay. I have no idea about that. I think maybe some of you heard about Chuck Finn. Okay. I think he's a very successful businessman, and he earned lots of money. But the only thing he will do, he did is to donate his money to a lot of the organizations and the schools and the people who need to care. Okay, and I really it's really interests me because I read her books. It's called When We Survive. So everybody have his goal, and everybody want to be the different. But you have the targets when you live in your lives. So that's why I want to think if I earn a lot of money, enough money, what I should do. And Chuck Finn also influenced the Microsoft, the founder, Bill Gates, and some very famous people. So if I have these opportunities, I will be of him, and I can replicate his way to explore my influence. Thank you.
Okay, Amanda?
Same question?
Yes.
Okay, so for me, it's a lot of different experiences shaped who I am today. It's not just one particular experience. But I would give the biggest credit to my husband, whom I met in Toastmasters. It's really important to surround yourself with positive people, because who you surround yourself with will influence your belief system or your behaviors. And my husband is a very positive and uplifting person, is very respectful, and it was because of his daily reminders that he believed in what I am capable of. And with that constant reminder, it really it shifted my mindset to believe in my own potential, to believe in my own capabilities, and to really shine. You probably would see me as a confident woman today, but 10 years ago, I'm not exactly this type of person who's very open and who's very confident speaking on stage. So I would say that really surround yourself with positive people, and that will really help you a lot in terms of your own personal development and growth.
Great answer, Davis.
There are a lot of moments and people who impacted who I am today, but if I had to pick one right now, I would pick my grandma. So the story I shared all really started with her, because she's the one that decided that let's move away from Vietnam and let's go to the United States. Let me take this job at 2 a.m. And growing up, a lot of times my grandma grew up, and she would ask me also, what do I want to be when I grow up? And my grandma, before I can answer, she would say, I hope you don't be a doctor. I hope you don't be an engineer. I hope you're not a lawyer, because they have to stand up all day. They have clients who are bossy of them. You should be a boss. But my grandma wasn't just saying you should be a boss, but it's more of, she also said, she led by example. So my grandma, her dream was always to own her own shop, but in Vietnam she couldn't do that because 1, she's a woman, 2, she had no education, 3, it was after the Vietnam War. And so when she came to the US, she and my grandpa saved up enough money to open up a nail salon. And she didn't have any business experience, didn't know how to do nails or anything, but she taught herself how to do it. And what inspired me was what happened during the first couple of years when it didn't make money. When they finally started making a few dollars here and there, my grandma, she was about to celebrate, and the first day, she's about to leave the store, and someone comes in with a gun and says, give me your money. And she loses all the money that she's made. But she said, it's okay. Next day she comes in and she buys an alarm, so now she has security. And a couple months later, she starts making money again. And now the neighborhood can't rob her because there's security. And they come in and they say, well, you know what? If we cannot rob you, we're gonna break in. So when she leaves, they break into the store and just take all the equipment. Even though the money's there, they take all the nail equipment, all the chairs, all the desks. And my grandma next day says, well, we gotta keep going. So she opens up the shop with my grandpa, sweeps everything, and says, now we're gonna put metal bars on top of the windows, similar to what Taiwan has, right, with the houses, same thing with the shop. And now my grandma thinks, okay, we're gonna make some more money. But when we made the money, they said, okay, we cannot steal from her, we cannot break in, let's just burn down the store. And so they burn down the store. And my grandma the next day comes in and says, well, let me get fire insurance now and let's reopen the store. And so whenever I have a tough day, I think back to my grandma and I think, what it has been like to travel from Vietnam all the way to the US, not knowing if you're gonna survive, and then to start a business and think, wow, how do these things happen to me? I was like, it's not that bad. And so the lesson I learned here is that no matter what you're going through, how badly you think it is, someone's going through worse, and they would give everything to trade your places. So I always think to myself, how lucky am I? So whenever something happens to me personally, professionally, I always think back to my grandma and think, yep, she's gone through a lot worse. All right, Davis, okay, enough crying, let's keep going.
Great, and that was very good advice from Grandma. Everyone get that? Don't be doctor, don't be lawyer, be the boss, okay? Nice, great answer, thank you all. And at this moment, I'll ask again, anyone have any question for any of our panelists? Any aspect you want to dig in? Any aspect you want to explore more? No? No? Oh yes, yes, of course.
Hi, thank you. Anybody can share this, but my question is, well, sort of two questions. One is, can you share with us your greatest learnings in Toastmasters? And then maybe also share your maybe most difficult challenges that you've had in Toastmasters?
Okay. So you said anyone can answer, right? So any two of our great panelists would like to answer this? Okay, Amanda, you have the microphone. Okay.
Okay, so I'll start off with the biggest challenge that I've had in Toastmasters was laziness. Giving a speech, preparing for a speech takes quite some time. And I am more of a person who's very spontaneous, but really to make an impactful speech, a speech that is memorable, a speech that somebody would really feel the transformation like what Davis made a while ago. It takes time, it takes a lot of thinking and effort and craft into it. And so the biggest challenge for me was to discipline myself to write down my script and actually stick with it and practice it. That's the biggest challenge. That's why it took me 13 years to actually achieve Distinguished Toastmasters Award. And the biggest learning that I took away from Toastmasters was it's all about really making that impactful message. So how do I leave a good impression towards people? It's not just about my English fluency. It's about what are the message, how do I deliver it? What are the essence of the message that I wanted to give? That's why I was able to jump from one industry to another, from one job to another, which it's not relevant at all to each other, right? So the biggest learning that I had with Toastmasters is being able to deliver a message that would really inspire the audience or really give a great impression to the recipient of that message.
All right, great, thank you. And Ayan will be the...
Thank you for the great question. So as you know, I'm from the Philippines and I'm a teacher by profession. I thought my ability is only in the four-wall classroom. But guess what? Toastmasters showed me that actually the world is wider than my classroom. And where did I find it? In Toastmasters. So last year, I became champion in Taiwan. And yes, thank you. I'm very proud to tell that because I worked hard for it. Yes, I knew I was a good teacher, but I think I can still shine outside of my classroom into a bigger world. From District 75 to District 67, and hopefully the world. I'm just wishing. But then that's the learning that I get. I can have a lot of friends, not only in my country, not only in Taiwan, but all over the world. And I could hear a lot of great stories. So it doesn't end there. I will keep on learning great stories from our fellow Toastmasters and soon to be Toastmasters as well. So the challenge is just that it's learning by doing. You cannot just sit there and listen and be good. You've got to stand up and shine on your own. So be a Toastmasters. Thank you.
Great, Ayan. That's a great answer. Now, champion in Taiwan last year means champion in the world this year, right? Yeah. Let's wish Ayan to continue her journey and then reach a new height in her achievement. And thank you very much for those very great questions. Thank you. And anyone? Yes, of course. Here you go.
This question is actually for Davis. So from his story, we could already tell he was very capable and determined when he was 8. So I was wondering that, you're already as good as you are, so what did Toastmasters mean to you? Why is the reason you want to join and how does Toastmasters benefit you? Thank you.
Toastmasters means a lot to me in different ways. So when I first joined Toastmasters, it was about community. So I travel a lot for just wanting to travel the world, and I'll share with you 2 stories that really spot out. And similar to the last question, what I really enjoy about Toastmasters, and also something that was difficult for me, that turned out to be one of my favorite moments in Toastmasters. The first thing that is Toastmasters you learn is just support of community. And so I'll share with the challenge. So 4 years ago, when I first came to Taiwan, right before COVID, I had a goal. I wanted to learn Chinese. And so to set a goal, similar to how you run a marathon, you want to start training, I said, no matter what happens here, 3 months from my first lesson, I'm going to give an entire speech at Toastmasters, all in Chinese. And that became the goal. And I'll tell you, that was probably one of the most difficult things I worked on. But what I learned was how supportive the community was by the time the speech came. And it became one of those moments where you realize it's a supportive community. There have been times when I will travel for work, and let's say I'm in a new city and I don't know anyone, and I have no friends there. I'll just email the Toastmaster Club on a Friday night and say, hey, I'm here. And they're like, why don't you come to our club? give a talk, and then afterwards we'll spend time with you, show you the city, and that shows the community it's there. But also at the same time, it's always about progress. A bunch of my friends ask me, Davis, why do you keep practicing your speeches? You're already really good. Well, it's not because I'm good that I practice, therefore I am good. And so I always want to continue to get to the next level, and for me, public speaking is just a skill that I want to be able to develop. But we'll save it for another time, but public speaking used to be the thing that I hated the most, by the way. Yeah. So I would say the most important thing I learned about Toastmasters is you're surrounded by people who want you to succeed, who want you to grow, and who are there for you. So it's your opportunity. It's such a safe space that you're not going to find anywhere else.
Okay, great. At least we know he knows how to say 鸡排, right? Okay. Same question goes to Howard because I also want to know Howard's answer on this question.
Actually, during the Toastmasters, the trust. Actually, sometimes I review myself that I'm not the guy who easy to believe something and trust other people's. And of course, I don't trust me. So sometimes you can see that the achievement, but you have no idea how come you can achieve that. So in the Toastmaster, we, as the Amanda saying that a person can go very fast, but a group of person can go very far. So in Toastmaster, I always a deep impression is everybody laugh, really. But in the business, I seldom laugh. So how come you laugh? Because you feel what the people's, what the partners, what the members laugh, the joy, the happy, they trust each other, so that's why they laugh. And the trust can do anything. If you trust your partners, your friends, your colleagues, you trust yourself, because we don't need to pull and push. And we can go ahead very fast, and we can go ahead post very huge distance. So I think, I have no idea how come, I have no idea if I answer your question, but I think the Toastmaster really, the trust is very valuable to me.
Well said, well said. Thank you, Howard. I think Howard and David mentioned one thing that's also very important to me, that's the community. You know, before I joined Toastmaster, or at the beginning of my Toastmaster journey, I felt that, okay, this is only a place where people learn language ability. But then I didn't expect that Toastmaster filled every moment in my life, you know? We have endless parties, endless outings. On holiday, we have parties. On not holiday, we have parties too, right? So at the time when Amanda is giving her presentation, she's eager to show you the picture. And I was thinking, oh, if the picture still don't come up, then you just flip through the album of any Toastmaster member, and everybody's album is full of photos of having parties, right? So community is a very important part and very big part of Toastmasters. So don't think about it as, you know, joining like training institute or facility. Think about it as joining a community where you have support, friends, everybody accompanying you through important occasions of your life. I think that's the most valuable thing a Toastmaster means to me. Okay, anyone? Yes, okay, great, thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm a Toastmaster already.
Okay.
And but my group is online group, and I'm VP PR for online group. And I don't normally go to face-to-face meeting, but my guests, they asked me to join, so that's why I'm here today. Okay, I'd like to ask you one question. If you are not joining Toastmaster, I don't know for how many years ago, if you are not joining Toastmaster, and you think which area of your professionalism or your career or your life will be laid off for now?
Okay, so
I want to ask as a Toastmaster, I'd like to know.
okay, so if no Toastmaster, then which part of your current life will be not fulfilling, not rewarding, not to the expectation of your like highest dream or your best vision. So without Toastmaster, what will you become? Okay? So, yeah, now that Ian is having microphone, yes.
Wow, what a great question. I never thought of that question, because Toastmasters has filled a lot of sides of my personality, professionally, personally, spiritually, even financially, because I get invited to deliver speeches as well. So if there was no Toastmasters in my life, I think I will be a very strict person. So let me tell you how I started working. So at age 23, I was already promoted as supervisor. I didn't have great mentors. I was learning by my own. And because I was goal-driven, I couldn't understand members or like other teachers who wouldn't deliver the right expectation in the company. I was so strict and so rigid, and I couldn't accept their imperfections. And I think it was a horrible time, learning, doing things without great mentors to tell you that interpersonal skill is such a great skill. Be kind to your people, be kind to your members, and learn from them. And you're not the only perfect person. I didn't learn that, but when I joined Toastmasters, your tagline today, stay open, that opened my life to see, wow, what a great world. People are still really good with their stories and their ways of living. So without Toastmasters, I think I will be a super strict teacher, like a librarian. I couldn't accept faults. But because of Toastmasters, I get to laugh and I get to accept I still have things to learn and improve. So thank you for that question. You reminded me of my first job. But I'm better now, I'm telling you.
Great, thank you, Ian. And may I invite Amanda to also answer the question?
Without Toastmasters, for me, life would be dull.
And you will be single, right?
Yes, I am. Yes. And so life, because I was born and raised in the Philippines, right? So when I came to Taiwan, I have no friends, nada, zero. So I had to start somewhere, and Toastmasters is actually where all of my friends are right now. Most of my friends are right now. And so because of Toastmasters, I was able to experience Jade Mountain, Snow Mountain. I was able to experience Hehuanshan. I was able to cycle around Taiwan on a bike. And I was able to experience swimming across Sun Moon Lake. Now, those are the experiences that I would never have imagined or would never think of if it weren't for Toastmasters, because of this Toastmasters community would encourage, like sometimes Michelle would just invite people, hey, let's go somewhere and enjoy karaoke or whatever. So Toastmasters basically enriched my life over the past 18 years, and also it opened up so much possibilities. It's like, perhaps if it weren't for Toastmasters, I would stay in the same company, doing the same thing, the same routine over and over again. But because of Toastmasters, I see people from different walks of life, different professions, different possibilities. So because, as David says, if they can do it, so can I, right? And so when I saw people pursuing a certain direction that I find interesting, then that would inspire me or motivate me to do the same thing. And so, really, to answer that, life without Toastmasters is a dull life for me.
All right, thank you very much, Amanda. That was a great answer and great question, really. Thank you so much for that. And anyone in the audience? Any more questions from the floor? Oh, yes, more questions, the better. All right. The microphone is already on, so just talk.
I'm also a Toastmasters as well, and thank you. And I'm curious about that because our slogan is where the leaders are made, and I have the most kind of feelings about this slogan while become an officer in our club. So I am curious about what is the most challenging things when you try to become an officer or try to attend the speech contest? is there any unforgettable memories in your Toastmaster journey about those things? Trying new things.
Okay, great. Anything, challenges or things that's most memorable in your Toastmaster journey, either serving as an officer or joining the contest, okay? Davis, you have the microphone, so you'll be the first to answer.
Alright, I'll talk about the contest then.
Okay.
So, there's two paths in Toastmasters for guests. There's you can be an officer, which is all volunteer. You work your way up, become president of the club, then your area, division, district, and then international if you would like. And then the path that I like, well I've done both, but the other path I like is you have these competitions where you can compete your speech in Chinese, Taiwanese, English, Japanese, whichever way. So I'll say one of the biggest growth opportunities for me in Toastmasters, I'll take a step back, is I've visited and given talks at over 130 Toastmasters clubs around the world. So wherever I go, I'll go, right? I'll say that no club is the same. So when you visit one club, it's completely different from another club. So for anyone who's not a Toastmasters member yet, I would just recommend just go to your first club and see if it's a really good fit. It's like trying to find a church or trying to find a job. It's all different. But the biggest moment for me, I didn't realize this until I started my first competition. And so what happened was, I joined my home club, which at the time was in San Francisco, and they have something called the International Speech Competition. So the International Speech Competition, you give a talk. If you win at your club level, then you compete in the area. If you win the area, you complete division, division at district, district at world. But they can only take one winner, so every district's different. San Francisco will take one. And so my year, I thought was the best speech I could give at the time. And I came in not first, not second, not third, but fourth in my own club. And so I was like, I really want to compete. So now I have to go sign up for another club. I was like, you know what? Any club here need a winner here? I want to compete. And so I signed up, but I knew I had to compete against the friend of mine from my original club. So I said, I need to practice. And so that week, that whole year, I decided to go to 2 different Toastmasters clubs in San Francisco every single week, twice a week to practice, get refined, get better. And over time, that's when I visited over 50 clubs and I realized how different it was. It was clubs that, for example, met at 6 a.m. having breakfast together and giving speeches, all the way to Friday night eating steak. It was clubs that met on Sunday at church, and then there were clubs that met on Tuesday at a strip club. Different story. But I would give all these talks, but I would get better and get feedback and make friends. So when it came time, my club that I joined, the second club, they only had 4 people, so I won first and went through. And I kept winning. And then at the district, I competed against the person who beat me originally, and this time I beat him. And so obviously it was very awkward when I went back to my home club, but they gave me a hero. I was like, hey Davis, you won! And I was like, hey, you're welcome back now. But it taught me 2 lessons, which is one, every club is different. So if you're already a member, I highly encourage you, check out another club. And if you're a guest thinking about joining Toastmasters, you don't have to just sign a membership right away. Just check out a couple clubs before you decide which one's the right one for you. So that's the first one. And the second is, if you haven't already, sign up for a competition, because you do grow a lot through those competitions and you get to meet other Toastmasters. It's just one of my favorite things to do. And yes, you can join multiple clubs and compete, try to get more chances.
All right, thank you, Davis. Thank you very much for those tips. Give Davis a big round of applause. Thank you. Yeah, Howard.
I can remark it. Actually, I think the Toastmasters give us games. So, but I think it's still a group and full of people. So no matter if there are lots of people, you have to set up the consciousness. This is very difficult. You are not play the manager or the boss to pay him or pay your member the salary or package, but you have to influence him or her to take the actions to make the target into practice. So I think that is the most difficult, and I really challenge to me. I also learn from this. But in Toastmasters, because we have the same frequency and we have the same chemistry, and so we have the same momentum. So the consequence maybe you can learn and do to apply in the Toastmaster, then you can replicate to the real society.
All right, great. Thank you, Howard, for that great answer. Now, as much as I want to ask about the street club, that's about the time I have for today. So remember the question I asked in the beginning of this event, that whether Toastmasters is the right place for you, for those who are searching for an opportunity to continue to learn, to grow, and to weather the storms in our life. So to our panelists, I will ask this final question. For those who haven't made up their mind whether Toastmasters is the place for them to continue learning, what will be one line that you will say to them? Okay, so Ian, please.
Right, for those who are still thinking, there's only one line I want to say. Visit Taipei 101, join KPMG Taiwan Toastmasters Club every first and third Friday evening. Let's have fun. Sorry, that was a lot of lines. Please join us.
Yeah, Howard, please, your line.
I will advise TM Toastmaster because I'm being the legacy and the TM Toastmaster member, and because I live in Tianmu, and if you want to improve yourself and find some friends to chat and to have a cup of coffee or a wine, you can easily to find somebody to get this. So that's my advice.
Great. All I could say is try. You're not going to lose anything if you go try and find a club and just visit a club. You've stayed here for 3.5 hours already, right? So something sparks curiosity in you to explore more about Toastmasters. So why not continue exploring and see if this is something for you? And if you want to explore second and fourth Friday of the month, near Shandao Temple is VIE Toastmasters Club, where we represent brilliant, intelligent, and dynamic. So all you need to do is just spend another 2.5 hours or 2 hours of your time visiting a club and learning more, get the feel, get the atmosphere. Like David says, every club is so different, and find a club where you resonate, the vibe, the atmosphere resonates with you, and see for yourself how you can grow, because we're not you. Only you can tell what's suitable for you. So go try and explore.
Well said, Amanda. David.
Here's my trick for finding a really good club. So go on their Facebook page and you can look at the photos. For example, when I was in Vegas, there was a club that every time someone gave a talk, you gave a shot. And so you can imagine at the end of the day, it didn't matter how good your speech was, no one's gonna remember. But I've also been in clubs where it was so strict that if you're over by a second, they will buzz you and you have to get off the stage, right? So I would think about, what do you want out of a club? Do you want someone that is young, that's going to be your friend group? Do you want people who are strict? Do you want to hang out with people who are entrepreneurs? Do you want to hang out with people who are trying to be better leaders? Whatever it is. But when you go on their Facebook page or their website, you can look at the photos, look at what type of events they have, right? So very obvious, if you see a bunch of wine bottles out, it's probably gonna be a fun club. But if you see one where everyone's dressed really nicely, you probably think it's gonna be a pretty strict club. So whenever I travel to a new country, I will just look at the various clubs and look at their photos and figure out who it is. And no lie, when I was single, I would look at, all right, what's the ratio of females to male here? So again, a lot of ways that you can do with this, just look at their Facebook page.
All right, very good advice. Join me to thank our panelists, David, Amanda, Howard, and Ian again. Thank them for sharing all they know about Toastmaster and all they experience in Toastmaster. Now, I know everyone wants to win the award, right? So we already wrapped up the panel discussion. I will give you 3 more minutes for you to complete the golden ticket at your hand, or you want to complete a few more golden tickets, do that. I will give you 3 more minutes so that you can continue talk to our panelists. They will stay here on the podium, or you can go to the area where the clubs are having booths so that you can fill in all the information you need. So 3 more minutes for you to complete your golden ticket, and remember to cast the golden ticket into the boxes where Roger's holding. Okay, 3 more minutes. Go, go, go. More golden tickets, more chance to win.
那衣服是你的吗？背上那个。
No, no, no. Please stay, please stay. And come to